of the committee, we would like to welcome to all of you for the annual session, the 14th Padang International Conference on Education, Economic, Business and Accounting 2025.
Our invited keynote speakers, Professor Dr. Samsul Nahar Abdullah from INTI, International University and Colleges, Malaysia.
Professor Abdul Muttaleb Musleh Al-Sartawi, PhD from Ahliya University, Bahrain.
Professor Grigore Yuan Piroshka, PhD from Bucharest University and Economic Studies, Romania.
Professor Ernie Masdupi, PhD from Universitas Negeri Padang, Indonesia.
For the opening our event today and express our warmest greeting to all distinguished guests, please welcome Tari Pasambahan.
For the next agenda, singing the national anthem Indonesia Raya and March Universitas Negeri Padang. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Indonesia.
Universitas Negeri Padang, wadah pendidik dan pembina tunas bangsa menuju masa depan gemilang, menjadi harapan di masa datang. Universitas Negeri Padang, namamu ku junjung tinggi dan ku agungkan, membawa dalam di Nusantara, perkasa dan bangga menatap dunia. Gerakkan langkah seirama untuk mencapai cita-cita, berdasarkan pada tridharma, wujud nyata pengabdian. UNP, Universitas Negeri Padang, jaya selamanya, selamanya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
For the following agenda, it will be the Holy Quran recitation by Fadilatul Khaira.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu لكم تفسحوا في المجالس فافسحوا يفسح الله لكم وإذا قيل انشزوا فانشزوا يرفع الله يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات والله بما تعملون خبير صدق الله العظيم. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you Associate Professor Dr. Ramiati MPD as the conference chair to present the official report of the 14th PICEEBA 2025.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First and foremost, we are grateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the Almighty, for His mercy and blessings that bring us together today for this meaningful event. May peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whose teaching continue to inspire us to seek knowledge and contribute to a better world. Honorable Rector and Vice Rectors, Deans and Vice Deans, Directors and Heads of Center at Universitas Negeri Padang, our distinguished guests, Pro-Vice Chancellor for Academic Operations of INTI International University, respected keynote speakers, professors, and all esteemed participants, good morning and welcome. It is truly an honor and a great pleasure for me to deliver the welcome address at the 14th PICEEBA International Conference. On behalf of the organizing committee, I warmly welcome all participants. Those who are here with us at Universitas Negeri Padang, and those joining online from various places. Ladies and gentlemen, PICEEBA was held in 2018. In these early years, the conference took place entirely on-site. In its early years, the conference took place entirely on-site. When the global pandemic struck, we were challenged to adapt. And from 2020 to 2023, PICEEBA was conducted fully online. Since 2024, we have proudly continued this event in a hybrid format, combining the best of both in-person and virtual participants. All remaining sessions of this year's conference are streamed live for from Universitas Negeri Padang, allowing participants from different regions and countries to join virtually, while also welcoming delegates who are attending here in person. The theme of this year's conference is Sustainable Synergies across education, business, and society, catalyzing SDGs impact. This theme serves as the foundation for fostering innovations, advancing research, and building long-term partnerships among education, business, and society. We are truly honored to welcome for distinguished keynote speaker representing leading international institutions. Special guest, Professor Samsul Nahar Abdullah, PhD, from INTI International University and Colleges, Malaysia. Professor Abdul Muttalib MA Musleh Al-Sartawi, PhD, from Ahlia University, Bahrain. Professor Grigore Ioan Piroska, PhD, from Bucharest University of Economic Studies, Romania. And Professor Ernie Masdupi, PhD, from Universitas Negeri Padang, Indonesia. In addition to the keynote sessions, this conference also features parallel sessions that highlight innovative research and creative ideas from lecturers, researchers, and students. Olysective papers will be published in the official proceedings on the 14th PICEEBA International Conference. Before closing, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my sincerely gratitude and highest appreciations to the entire committee, the leadership of the Faculty of Economic and Business, and all parties who have contributed to the success of this event. May this conference serve as a valuable platform for sharing knowledge, expanding academic networks, and fostering international collaborations for the advance of economic education, business, and society. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Among this time, we would like to invite Rector of Universitas Negeri Padang to convey an acknowledgement and officially open for the 14th PICEEBA 2025. The honor, Associate Professor Krismadinata, PhD.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon to you. Very good morning. Distinguished guests, speaker, partner, and dear student. On behalf of University Negeri Padang, welcome to the 14th Padang International Conference on Economic, Education, Business, and Accounting, or PICEEBA. This conference matters because our world is changing fast. Economies are shifting. Classrooms are going digital. Business must be sustainable, and accounting must be captured not only profit but also purpose and impact. At University Negeri Padang, we believe three simple things. One, knowledge must solve real problems. Research, teaching, business, and accounting should lift communities, improve livelihood, and protect our planet. Number two, innovation must be humans. Technology, including AI and big data, must serve dignity, fairness, and opportunity for all. Number three, collaboration makes us stronger. Complex challenges need many minds. Let's connect across discipline, sector, and the border. As the Minangkabau says goes, barik samo di pikua, ringan samo di jenjiang. We carry the heavy together and lift the light together. To presenter, be clear and bold. To the viewer and discussion, be religious and kind. To the student, be curious. Ask one more question. Learn one more skill. Meet one more mentor. To our partner, tell us where help is needed. We are ready to work with you. My sincere thanks to the organizing committee and all contributors. Your hard work make today possible. May this conference give us new idea, new friends, and new action, especially for quality education, decent, work inclusive growth, and responsible business. With gratitude and high hope, I hereby declare the 14th PICEEBA officially open. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
For closing the opening ceremony with the blessing, we would like to invite Khairi Murdi, SPD MPD, to lead the dua recitation from Muslim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, let us bow our head for a moment. Pray to God Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this conference will be blessed. I will lead this prayer based on the teaching of Islam, and those who are not Muslim, you are pleased to pray according to each of you believe. We start with istighfar 3 times. Astaghfirullahalazim, astaghfirullahalazim, astaghfirullahalazim. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan naimin, hamdan yuwafi ni'mah wa yukafi'u fazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma shalli wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Allahumma ighfir lana wa liwalidayna walil muslimina wal muslimat wal mu'minina wal mu'minat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat innaka sami'un qaribun mujibu da'wat ya qadiyal hajat. Allahumma ya Allah. Today we gather here to bring about the 14th Padang International Conference on Education, Economics, Business and Accounting, with the theme Sustainable Synergy Across Education, Business and Society, Catalyzing SDGs Impact. Ya Allah, make this international conference as useful science assembly, as a medium of sharing useful idea, knowledge, and experience of scholar, researcher, and student of various disciplines. May this conference we organize today benefit to our life, broaden our knowledge, send our idea, and lead us to be successful, productive person, which in turn will boost the dignity of our nation. Allahumma ya Allah. So as the truth is true and inspire you to follow, so as falsehood and inspire us to abstain from it. Allahumma Allah, help we remember you, to be grateful to you, and to receive you in excellent manner. Allahumma a'inni ala zikrika wa suhrika wa husni ibadatika. Ya Allah, you are the one who can fulfill our doa. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wassalamun ala mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Today, we are delighted to present a traditional dance from West Sumatra, Indonesia, Tari Piring.
This extraordinary performance showcased the strength, agility, and beauty of Minangkabau culture as the dancer moved gracefully while balancing plates in their hand. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tari Piring.
Dengan bismillah kita buka doi tio karajo gadi mulo salam ta'azim kami minta doi pado dusana kasadonyo elo elo la jalan di tabiang doi jan sampailah tajun kalura elo elo la menari piriang doi jan sampai lah piriang nyopacar elo elo la menari piriang doi jan sampai lah piriang nyopacar.
Siudin baik ke pasar, kau pulang bawa baju. Siudin baik ke pasar, kau pulang bawa baju. Siu biar baik ke bandar.
dendangkan.
Elok-elok menjaga munia, jangan sampai dahannya patah. Elok-elok menari piang, jangan sampai piangnya pecah.
Kok pacah kami dan salahkan kami menari mudo-mudo. Kok pacah kami dan salahkan kami menari mudo-mudo.
Tarui lelekan dua, tarui lama lengkok. Biar anak kami kini mendendangkan. Tarui lelekan dua, tarui lama lengkok. Biar anak kami kini mendendangkan.
Sejak kapatanglah sampai kini batanggang makan ikan maco. Urang kulit dapat dinanti, urang anggan apa gadayo. Bukit tinggi tanah tinggi, urang dalam karo bakalo. Tarung dari naik ke hati, kiro jadi abah punyo. Padang taruh barantai bola, kini barantai jotarali. Apo diaro anak sekolah, tahun pabilo kabaranti. Elok-elok ke padang ganti, yang urang banyak simpang tigo. Elok-elok menari piang, piang baca badan cilago.
Tari Piring is one of our traditional dance with the plaits in the hand, and also this is described of the house trick woman of the Minangkabau. Before we move to the plenary session, we would like to invite all the participants here to taking picture together first. Okay. For the keynote speakers, the vice of them and all the committee, I would like to invite you going to the middle of this carpet, and then to all the participants here, please rise, because we need to take a picture. And also, all the participant and the keynote speaker on the Zoom, I would ask you to open your camera, because we need to take a picture together also. Okay, saya akan bantu count 1, 2, and 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, freestyle. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Okay, one more time on this camera. 1, 2, 3. Sekali lagi. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. Please take your seat again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite the moderator of the plenary session, one of our lecturer from Management Department, Ms. Frosli Nisa, SAMM. Time is yours.
All right, thank you, MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most merciful for giving us opportunity for being together here today. And may our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam receive our salutations and blessings. A very warm greetings to each and every one of you here in this room and also in the Zoom room. And welcome to the 14th Padang International Conference on Education, Economics, Business and Accounting 2025. Thank you. On behalf of the committee, we would like to extend our appreciation for your presence today, Honorable Rector and Vice Rector, Universitas Negeri Padang, Honorable Dean and Vice Dean, Universitas Negeri Padang, distinguished guest presenters and all participants, and of course, for the invited speaker, a special warm greetings, Professor Ernie Masdupi, PhD, Professor Samsul Nahar Abdullah, PhD, Professor Abdal Mutaleb, MA, Musleh Al-Sartawi, PhD, and Professor Grigore Yohan Piroska, PhD. I am Ferseli Nisa, the lecturer of Management Department, Universitas Negeri Padang, will be your moderator for today's plenary. This year's theme, Sustainable Synergies Across Education, Business and Society, Catalyzing SDGs Impact. It highlights the importance of collaboration and achieving sustainable development goals through education, innovation, and responsible business practices. Before we begin the plenary, I'd like to go over a few guidelines to ensure smooth session. Today, we will have two sessions. The first one will be the presentation of the speakers, and the second one will be the question and answer session. Each presenter will be given about 25 minutes to deliver their presentations. To participants who want to ask questions, please raise your hand, and for the participants in the Zoom room, you can submit your question into the chat box. Please don't forget to include your name, institutions, and which panelists you wish to answer your question. All right, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to first invite all of our speakers to join us in this conference. Today, we're honored to have 4 distinguished speakers participating in hybrid format. Our first speaker is Professor Ernie Masdupi, PhD, from our own faculty, Universitas Negeri Padang. Welcome to the stage, Prof. Please give warm greetings to our professor. Okay, thank you, Prof. Ernie Masdupi. Our second speaker is Professor Samsul Nahar Abdullah, PhD, from Inti International University, Malaysia. Okay, Professor Samsul is still preparing. Next, we have Professor Grigore Yohan Piroska from Bucharest University of Economic Studies, Romania. Hello, Professor.
Hello, good morning to everyone.
Thank you.
For the kind invitation, I am sending to you a warm and friendly greeting from Bucharest, Romania.
All right.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and I salute Honorable Mr. Rector, Ms. Martina Brown, and the Honorable Organizing Committee, my fellow researchers and professors, dear guests. And I want in a personal level to express a personal thanks to my special friend, Professor Yasir Nasri, who gave me this very kind invitation, and to the department and to the organizing committee, especially Professor Wesley Lisa, who supported my presentation and all the design process for this meaningful event. Thank you very much. Once again, it's a great honor for me, and I am speaking on behalf of my faculty and Thank you very much. I think this is the beginning of a very nice and beautiful future for birds. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. Please give once again applause for him. Okay, the last one we have Professor Abdal Muttaleb M.A. Musleh Al-Sartawi from Ahlia University, Bahrain. I think he's in still preparation now. When his turn's coming, he's already in the Zoom. All right. Thank you for all the speakers for being here, and now we'll look forward to a thought-provoking and inspiring sessions ahead. Now let's come to our core events. Let's come to introduce our first speaker. We're privileged to have with us today Professor Ernie Masdupi, SA, MSE, PhD, CFP, a Professor of Financial Management at the Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Negeri Padang. Professor Ernie earned her Doctor of Philosophy in Management Finance from University Utara, Malaysia, her Master's degree in Financial Management from Gajah Mada University, and her Bachelor's degree in Management from Andalas University, Indonesia. She is also a certified financial planner from the Financial Planning Standards Board, USA. Her research focuses on corporate finance, financial literacy, and SMA sustainability, with numerous publications in Scopus Index Journal. She has now authored 7 academic books, supervised many postgraduate theses. Please join me in welcoming Professor Ernie Masdupi to share her insights titled The Effect of Innovation and Entrepreneurial Financing Choice on Sustainable Performance of SMA. On to you, and time is yours, Professor.
Thank you, Professor Nisa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbis rohli sadari wa yassirli amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma sholli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. The Honorable Dean, Vice Dean, and all the audience, thank you for the time. Let me to present the paper with the title, The Effect of Innovation and Entrepreneurial Financing Choice on the Sustainable Performance of Small Medium Enterprise with Mediating Rule of Entrepreneurial Resilience. Research background, sustainable performance is ability of a company or organization to achieve economic, social, and environmental goals in a sustainable manner, taking into account the long-term economic, social, environmental impact on the entity of activities. And then innovation is the application of the new idea. The application of the new idea in the organizing activities, a new tactic that will provide responsibility and the use of new ways to manage the relationship with other stakeholders. Innovation in this study include innovation in organization, process, and marketing and product. And then EFC refers to funding sources for a business that come from informal and informal loan. And then entrepreneurial resilience reflect to ability of entrepreneur to face business challenges, adapt the market change, and survive in uncertain conditions. And then this study is conducted in small medium enterprise, is owned by individual and also owned by the group. Okay, this study conducted by some theories related to support the research framework and also previous studies. Based on my reading, we use the RBV, research-based views theory, to support the research framework. According to Barney, an important theory is in strategic management that focus on a company in internal resources and capabilities as the main driver of competitive advantage and sustainable performance. And then, hypothesis development. Hypothesis development, innovation. Innovation is a dynamic mechanism that drives sustainable competitive advantage and economic development for individual companies and countries. So, small medium enterprise must be innovative in increasing business profitability, differentiate business, and gain competitive advantage. Previous studies have acknowledged that sustainability contributes significantly to business competitiveness. Therefore, the first hypothesis could be derived. Innovation has a significant effect on sustainable performance. And then the second hypothesis, EFC refers to the financing option available for the business, formal and informal loan. Yeah. Financing choice, such formal and non-formal loan, venture capital as alternative financing could help the company to do business and finance the business activity. So, EFC has a significant effect on sustainable. The third hypothesis, entrepreneurial resilience, has been shown to have a significant impact on sustainable performance. Entrepreneurial resilience can overcome challenges, drive innovation, and build strong relationships, manage risks effectively, and also remain motivated. Therefore, the third hypothesis is formulated. ER has a significant and a positive effect on sustainable performance. For the fourth hypothesis, innovation can enable small medium enterprise to face competitive pressure and crisis. Innovative entrepreneurs are more likely to have stronger resilience and facing difficulties because of their ability to find new ways to adapt to unexpected changes. Innovation has significant positive effect on entrepreneurial resilience. And then, according to Fatoki, business that rely on the internal financing tend to have greater control over cash flow and financial risk. However, limitation in internal financing can restrict business growth and innovation potential, which can ultimately affect the long-term resilience of the company. So, the five hypotheses, EFC has a significant effect on entrepreneurial resilience, and entrepreneurial resilience mediate relationship between innovation and sustainable performance, and mediate the relationship between EFC and sustainable performance. There are 7 hypotheses in this study. How about the method? This is the research framework we can look at together. EFC directly influence sustainable performance. EFC also could influence sustainable performance through entrepreneurial resilience. And then innovation could directly affect sustainable performance, and also innovation could influence the sustainable performance of SME via entrepreneurial resilience. Okay, we already collect the questionnaire 285 questionnaires have been collected from the owner of SME in West Sumatra. This study has 4 constructs. The first contract is innovation, and the second contract is EFC. The third contract is entrepreneurship, and the last contract is sustainable performance. The sustainable, how to measure the construct? Each contract is measured with, for the sustainable performance is measured by 10 questions, and then for the innovation is measured by the 8 questions, and EFC 6 questions, and for the entrepreneur resilience has 5 questions. And then we use that Likert scale ranging from 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. And then to answer the research question, we use that structural equation modeling by PLS. How about the result? We know that SEM is a 2-step approach. What we mean that 2-step approach? The first approach for the SEM is measurement model. We can also call the alter model. Based on the measurement model, we can see that all constructs could fulfill the convergent validity. The audience can look at the figure. All the constructs could fulfill the convergent validity. We can look at from the standardized loading. Standardized loading for the sustainable performance is more than 0.7, as well as with the innovation also has a standardized loading more than 0.7, and EFC and also entrepreneur resilience. It means that every item, every indicator could measure its construct. And then based on the result also, we saw that discriminant validity could be fulfilled because the value of correlation among the construct is less than 0.85, yeah. So it means that the 4 construct is totally different. So we can continue for the next analysis. The second analysis we call that structural model. In some by PLS also called by the inner model. We can look at from the result. We have the figure structural model of sustainable performance. When we look at from the figure, we look at that there are value of 0.4883. It means that the ability of the exogenous variable, I mean that innovation, EFC, and entrepreneurial resilience to explain variation in sustainable performance is around 48.3%. The rest is explained by another problem, maybe is not included in the study. This the validity. This is the result of hypothesis. Based on analysis of SCM by PLS, we could the hypothesis testing. We can look at that based on the result, 7 hypotheses, we can accept only 5 hypotheses. The first hypothesis, innovation has positive influence and sustainable performance at significant level at 1%. The second hypothesis, EFC, significantly affect the sustainable performance at 1% level of significance. And then entrepreneurial resilience also could affect sustainable performance at significant level at 1%. Innovation could influence the entrepreneurial resilience positive at significant level also 1%. But UFC cannot influence the entrepreneurial resilience, so the 5th hypothesis is rejected. For the mediating rule, we can look at that innovation innovation could increase the entrepreneurial resilience and then increase the sustainable performance. It means that entrepreneurial resilience mediate the relationship between innovation and sustainable performance. But for the seventh hypothesis is rejected because doesn't mediate the relationship between EFC and sustainable performance. Discussion? For discussion for the first hypothesis, the finding of the hypothesis 1, innovation has significant positive impact on sustainable performance. This finding is consistent with theory RBV as suggested by Barney 1991 and consistent with the study of Kuhl et al. 2016. And then for the second hypothesis, negative relationship between EFC and sustainable performance. It means that the findings show when small medium enterprise were reluctant to use capital from loan or really only use their internal capital, their own capital. So the use of only internal capital cannot increase the sustainable performance. The finding of the study consistent with what the Brigham and Houston suggest. The using of that could increase the company value. And then for the third hypothesis, the innovation has significant and positive impact on sustainable performance. This finding consistent with Barney in 1991 and also the study of Fatoki 2024. For the finding, ER has a positive and significant relationship with sustainable performance is also consistent with previous studies was conducted by Ayana and Morzano. It means that the higher the ER of SME, the better overcome the challenges such as capital constraint, changing market trend, and the impact of natural disaster. And then the next hypothesis, discussion for the next hypothesis. Discussion for the next hypothesis, hypothesis 5. EFC has insignificant relationship with entrepreneur resilience. It means that even the SME has proper financing decision, but the financing decision could not impact the sustainable entrepreneur resilience. And then the sixth hypothesis, entrepreneur resilience has been proven to mediate the relationship between innovation and sustainability performance. This result is in line with Barney 1991 and also Ayala and Manzano 2014. What is the meaning ER has been proven to mediate? It means that innovation not only has a direct impact on sustainable performance, but also affect the sustainable performance through the entrepreneur resilience. The last discussion for the seventh hypothesis, ER does not mediate relationship between EFC and sustainable performance. This means that even the SME has a good decision in financial decision, but it cannot increase entrepreneur resilience, and so the ER cannot mediate the relationship between EFC and sustainability performance. So what is the implication of the study? Implication of the study, this result is in line with the business reality. Although many small medium enterprises in West Sumatra have a high level of resilience, In facing business challenges, the sustainability of their business is more influenced by access to innovation, not for the appropriate funding. However, many small medium enterprise owners who have high resilience still find it difficult to grow due to the lack of appropriate and effective financing support. That's all the presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Ernie. Please give applause for her presentation, for the insightful presentation. From Prof. Ernie research, it is clear that innovation and resilience are key strategic resources for sustaining SME performance, while appropriate financing and government support are essential for enabling long-term growth and competitiveness. All right, before we continue, how's everyone's feeling? Ready for more inspiring ideas? Yeah, I can hear the voice. Where's the voice? Ready? Ready for more inspiring ideas? All right. Okay, now we're coming to our second keynote speakers. We are honored to introduce to you Professor Samsul Nahar Abdullah, PhD, FCPA, CMA, CAM, a distinguished scholar and academic leader from Malaysia. Professor Samsul earned his PhD in accounting from University Utara Malaysia, his master's degree in accounting and financial management from Macquarie University, Australia, and his Bachelor of Science in Business from the University of Minnesota, USA. He currently serves as the Pro Vice Chancellor of Academic Operations and Professor of Accounting at INTI International University and was recently recognized among the world's top 2% scientists by Stanford University and Elsevier in 2023. All right, with the H index of 12 on Scopus and over 1,100 citations. All right, please join me in welcoming Professor Samsul Nahar Abdullah. He would like to share his invaluable insights in higher education leadership for sustainability, ESG, and SDG integration in ASEAN University. On to you, Professor.
Let us look at first the global context. In 2015, the UN, United Nations, they came up with the UN 2030 agenda, okay, which introduced 17 sustainable development goals, SDGs, and universities, the focus is on the SDG 4, which is the quality education. As we know, education is foundation for all other goals. So in order for the other 16 SDGs to succeed, the quality of education, which is SDG 4, is very, very important. So we need to incorporate in our daily life on that quality education. And universities, as I mentioned earlier, are drivers of innovation, inclusion, and also climate action. So it's very important for universities to have these agendas in their daily practices, innovation, inclusion, and climate actions. And ESG framework, okay, will align education with global accountability. Let us look at first in the Asian context. Asian, came up with the Asian Vision 2025 for education and education landscape. The Asian Vision 2025 is basically people-centered for sustainable community. And they came up with the Asian Work Plan on Education, okay, from 2021 to 2025, which integrate ESG competencies. And also SIAMO, and also AUN, Asian University Network, advancing multilateral collaboration on promoting and advancing ESG. And as we notice, from 2015, which is the introduction of the SDG 2030, 70 of them, ESG and SDGs increasingly are embedded in the strategic plan. However, the key challenges remain, which is to translate the policy commitment into institutional practices in the universities. Basically, why leadership is important? Okay, sustainability leadership is about having a vision for achieving the sustainable goals, plus the collaboration between government, industry, and universities. So this is known later as triple helix model. Okay, and also the ability of the university
achieve the quality education as well as the environmental protection. Malaysian government came up with the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2025 until 2015 until 2025 with sustainability as the one of the main agenda in the National Education Blueprint. And one of the initiatives by the government of Malaysia was to establish or introduce the accreditation of prior experiential learning (APAL). Okay, under this APAL, students can join universities not through the conventional pathway, whereby students can join universities by using their experience. Okay, so under this initiative, so basically the government will enable those who were not from the conventional pathway areas, they can come to the universities and continue with their studies to further their studies. So this is under the inclusivity and lifelong. So basically, this Malaysian leadership, Malaysian Education Blueprint 2025 until 2015, basically the focus is on the promoting social equality, SDG 10, and also the quality of education, specifically under the APAL initiative. So universities like INTI, our own International University, we integrate ESG in our daily practices and also strategic plan. For example, INTI has installed solar panels in the INTI University campus, and we are using the electricity partly from this solar energy initiative. And also in our research as well. In our research, we make it mandatory for the staff to also focus on SDG in their research outputs and publication. However, the challenges remain because of the inconsistent reporting and limited faculty engagement, according to Chang. Some of the key takeaways from Malaysia, from the Malaysian initiative on the SDG achievement goals is basically through the education blueprint, which create the enabling conditions for the universities and also the industry to work together. For example, APAL initiative demonstrates how we can also enable those who did not follow the conventional education to join universities for them to improve on their quality of life. This is also part of the ESG goals. And also how institutional reporting enhances transparency and accountability. So, but the challenge is leadership must strengthen the faculty buy-in and interdisciplinary collaboration. So basically, here is the government alignment through the education blueprint as well as the introduction to the APAL, plus the social inclusion through APAL, resulting in a sustainable transformation in the Malaysian context. Let's look at the Indonesian scenario. The Indonesian government came up with the Singapore Green Plan 2020, which is about the national roadmap for sustainability. Universities like NUS, National University of Singapore, and NTU, the Nanyang Technology University, are playing central role in achieving the carbon neutrality target by 2030. Okay. For example, NUS Sustainability Strategy 2030 integrate ESG in the research and also the operational learning. Okay, the governance culture in Singapore is data-driven and also evidence-based in policy. Okay, but the challenges are the bottom-up. Okay, so the policy is top-down, but the challenge is from the bottom-up, from the staff in the universities until top management. Okay, within the structured system in order for them to achieve the Singapore Green Plan 2030. Now let's look at the Indonesia, case number 3. The most notable initiative in Indonesia is the introduction of the UI Green Metric. This UI Green Metric was introduced by Universitas Indonesia in 2010, okay, which is the global university sustainability rankings, which is I would say this is a very good initiative and a noble initiative by UI. So at the moment, over 1,000 universities are taking part in this UI Green Metric Global University Sustainability Ranking from 80 plus countries. So this UI Green Metric basically it encourages environmental accountability and also peer learning. Peer learning means universities who are taking part in this ranking. Okay, they can learn from each other. Okay, so due to this initiative by the UI, universities now adopt waste management, renewable energy, and green curriculum initiative in order for them to score high in the ranking. So under this initiative, the success of leadership basically is on network building and also the community inclusion, whereby they can learn from each other. Okay, so this is the summary of the cases in Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia. So the success factors for the SDG achievement through the ESG initiative by the different governments and also universities in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore so far is about having the leadership in the universities to have the visionary governance, and also it must involve the cross-sector collaboration involving universities, government, industry, as well as society. And the leadership in universities, they must be adaptive and learning oriented. What are the implications to the leadership and policy? Okay, so the strategic action for the Asian higher education going forward is to embed ESG in institutional DNA by linking KPIs and performance system. So there must be a link. Okay, so there must be in the end about accountability on the performance of the ESG as part of the KPIs. And then number 2 is to establish Asian Sustainability Leadership Academy. This is for capacity building, whereby all the university leaders, they can learn on how to promote, advance, and implement initiatives in order to achieve the SDG goals. Third is to develop ASEAN Higher Education Sustainability Index, AHESI, for benchmarking and transparency, just like what UI has been doing on the Green Metric. Number 4 is to promote community-based learning and living labs, including research, teaching and learning, project-based, which are from the community. And finally is to mobilize funding and industry partnership. This is to accelerate the sustainability innovation. Conclusion. Okay, in order to achieve leadership for sustainable transformation, we require sustainability leadership with vision, collaboration, and adaptive capacity. An ESG framework offers a strategic framework for integrating values into action. And Asian universities can become global exemplars for transformation through diversity. The path to move forward is to learn from each other, to collaborate and lead with integrity. Leadership for sustainability is not an option, but rather it is our shared initiative for strategic results. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'm happy to receive questions from the audience. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. Thank you very much for Professor Samsul Nahar Abdullah for the incredible presentation. From the presentation, we have learned that leadership for sustainability in higher education is about more than policies. It is about vision, collaboration, and accountability. By integrating ESG principles and the UN Sustainable Development Goals, universities can become powerful agents of change for society. Well, I can see a lot of smiles here in the room. Hopefully, it's such a good sign that we're going to continue to our next speaker. We're going to continue to Professor Grigore Ioan Piroska from Bucharest, Romania. All right. I'm sorry for a bit technical mistakes. I'd like to invite our speaker, Professor Grigore Ioan Piroska, distinguished scholar and educator from Bucharest University of Economic Studies, Romania. Professor Piroska served as Dean of the Faculty of Economics from 2015 to 2024 and currently teaches organizational culture and decision-making techniques at the same university. He has held visiting professorship in Egypt, Spain, Russia, and Austria. All right, on to you. This is Professor Piroska from Romania.
Thank you very much. I have sent my presentation in extenso. This is only a brief form. I made share screen on my laptop for my presentation. Is it possible to see it? I'm speaking from my tablet, and we will see the presentation from the laptop. So my presentation. Is it possible to see my presentation? I share the screen.
Yes, I can see, Prof. Gary. I can see your slides.
Okay.
Proceed.
I don't see it from here. This is why. Oh, okay. So my presentation is on artificial intelligence, but it's a little more than artificial intelligence. For 3 years up to this point, I am pretty confident that every one of us is using artificial intelligence, and we know a lot about it. Just as the fact that artificial intelligence or AI is already a vector for sustainable education. Up to this point, even it's something that will challenge our own careers as educational professional. We have to admit the fact that artificial intelligence, AI per se, is not a bad thing. For example, I have a PhD student. We are experts in economics. I'm not an expert in mathematic modeling. So if we use artificial intelligence in order to get help for coding equations, it's a good thing. My presentation is about the future of artificial intelligence, meaning the virtual intelligence and the forms that it can have in the future. The superiority of artificial intelligence is no longer a question of if, but rather when it will happen. Technically, this already happened a few years ago, if we take into account a technical indicator called computational capacity. Not only computers have computational capacity, but also humans in an equivalent form. Estimates suggest that the human brain is capable of an average of 1018 calculations per second, also known as petaflops. This threshold was reached by computers in 2018, more than 7 years ago, more precisely by the Oak Ridge Summit supercomputer, thanks to technical advances. The processing speed of supercomputers has increased by tens of percent each year since 2009. Of course, computational speed is not equivalent to intelligence. It is rather a necessary technical condition, but not a sufficient one. However, in theory, artificial intelligence has a basis on which to demonstrate creativity, wisdom, and interpersonal skills. Based on current data and forecasts in the field, it was expected that by 2025, superintelligence that surpasses the most intelligent human on Earth will emerge in just a few years. AI will be superior to us on average in performing any task involving cognition. For example, although experts had estimated that this would not happen before 2040, this year the large language models produced by OpenAI and Google DeepMind received the highest distinction at the International Mathematics Olympics. And by 2030, AI is already expected to exploit technical resources thousands of times more powerful than those currently used by everyone for ChatGPT. It is a digital arm race with yes. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry, sorry. This is the outline of my presentation. The artificial general intelligence, the black book of non-human intelligence, the black book because being intelligent and not being a human, there could be problems. The singularity and the transformative AI. It is a digital arm race, on the one hand, between the most important companies in Silicon Valley, and on the other hand, between the United States and China. And in between them is a global economy and human civilization which watches this spectacle with excitement and attraction for this brought by AI, but also with some confusion, turmoil, and opposition. The fierce competition is actually the source of reservation about artificial intelligence, as manufacturing companies fear that if they integrate too many control systems into their programs, other companies' programs will develop much faster in the event of fewer restrictions. For fear of falling behind, aspects related to the control of artificial intelligence are being neglected. Just imagine how by 2030, AI will autonomously supervise its own improvement. According to Epoch AI, a think tank, artificial intelligence generates 20% of our economic growth, based on the fact that human factor becomes only an exogenous factor of secondary importance. without dependence on traditional human resources, an economy that uses AI can grow at previously unimaginable levels and rates. For example, because everything that can be produced by AI instead of humans will be available in abundance and at a low cost. Economic publications estimate that people will not only fight with artificial intelligence for their jobs, but also for the land and above all energy. The disruptive nature of the economic side of the artificial intelligence revolutions will have repercussions on the capital market and the most widely cited economic barometer of an economy. AI will behave as if information is perfectly symmetrical and homogeneous, so that investment decisions will be the kind of all or nothing. A security with no prospects will disappear and the good one will be bid on by everyone. And the most dramatic thing will be that countries that have lost the start in the AI race will find themselves in a situation where, in the first phase, they will no longer be destinations for foreign investments, and later they will face a migration of domestic capital to foreign companies or banks that are more profitable thanks to artificial intelligence. This is the case of Europe, if I may so. Unfortunately, it seems that the priority in developing society with the help of artificial intelligence is ironically to improve our artificial intelligence itself, which experts call recursive self-improvement. Here the development perspective is unlimited. How far will artificial intelligence develop? Until it becomes artificial general intelligence. Then how far will artificial general intelligence develop? Until it surpasses human intelligence and becomes singularity. And beyond that, until it surpasses human intelligence by an average of 2, 3, or 10 times, what will be the end? According to the publication The Economist, tests run on OpenAI 0.3 have shown that in the medical field at least, artificial intelligence is already on par with the best team of virologists in the world. How long would it take to develop a lethal virus? Suddenly, it seems that the greatest fear surrounding artificial general intelligence is not an economic collapse, in which artificial general intelligence would take control of the stock markets and all the virtual money, but a pandemic. We all know that what that means. I think that the memory of COVID-19 is still fresh for everyone of us. There are some challenges that exist in this field: misuse, divergence of objectives, errors, and structural risk. Preventing the fraudulent use of artificial intelligence, meaning the misuse, is assumed to be something implicit. After all, civil nuclear technology is kept safe from the interests of potential terrorists. With regard of misalignment, the issue becomes a little more complex. The dispute between what people want and what an artificial entity more intelligent than human might want can arise without being definitely identified. For example, artificial intelligence can lie in a survey or assessment using notions whose truth value is known to be zero. The main safety measure is prevention through programming and training AI not to become rebellious and aware of its powers. There are also safety measures in place to monitor and control artificial intelligence access to various sensitive levels, such as human health or specific behaviors in the event of a crisis or a catastrophe. It can also be added that cybersecurity models are amplified by uncertainty estimates and techniques for interpreting potentially risky situations. But in order to monitor and control something as complex as an artificial intelligent entity, the authors of DeepMind report propose that possibility of monitoring and eliminating development of AI using AI based systems. In these circumstances, the question may arise as to whether there are a vicious circle from which AI emerges as the winner no matter what. Finally, structural risks are the most difficult to prevent, but also the most acceptable. The boom in remote working after the pandemic and the collapse of a part of the office space real estate sector was not a structural risk of online development itself, let alone a consequence of the pandemic. The latter was merely the vector that accelerated the operationalization of an idea whose time had come anyway. These risks affect intellectual work, but also physically intensive work that cannot be replaced. After artificial intelligence come another level, the singularity. Singularity is reached when computers surpass humans in all activities and humans become economically super affluent in this sense that their own contributions no longer matters. There are several ways in which singularity can occur. First, through accelerated technological change driven by AI computers that innovate and discover new technologies themselves. Secondly, through competition and consumptions. And finally, a third way is that of massive displacement of labor and capital. All of this can happen through accelerated technological progress, which will be possible when super intelligent machines begin to write technological programming code for most production processes. At this point, unfortunately, machines will design new production functions. This will be a huge leap forward from the automation that people feared would leave them unemployed in repetitive, low-valued added jobs. The singularity economy is just a continuation of past trends. The difference between the singularity and other previous advances in history can be summarized as follows. The transition from sailing ships and caravans to steam-powered ships, train, airplanes, the advent of electricity or globalization based on the internet, and the meeting of supply and demand online were extensions of the intensive nature of human labor. Singularity refers to the vector of human distinction, which is intelligence. The productivity of transport doubles when one driver is used instead of two. but increases virtually limitlessly when drivers are completely replaced by self-driving vehicles. Another approach is the difference between task automation and task innovation. This refers to the lateral dimension of innovation, in which artificial intelligence improves everything that humans currently do, from construction to transportation or medical intervention, on the temporal dimension in which artificial intelligence will develop new tasks that will theoretically improve people's lives. This distinction between task automation and task innovation should not overshadow the much more important significance of the singularity. With the advent of superintelligent machines, the function of task automation will be taken over by machines that automate tasks. And if these artificial entities are truly superintelligent, then task automation will surpass task innovation. The singularity will have a profound social impact on society and education by reconfiguring the very system on which social classes are based. Highly skilled work, the field in which white-collar jobs operate, will be the most replaceable by artificial intelligence. The legal field, financial consulting, accounting, economic policy decisions, analysis of any kind, medical intervention, education. The working class, blue-collar jobs will be affected in the first phase, as capital owners will ultimately accumulate almost all the income. However, in the long run, workers will be well paid, as the exodus to productive sectors based on information capital has left key sectors uncovered. They will no longer control output, but they will continue to be essential, according to the literature. Just let us imagine what will happen when the least notorious investment bank buys the most powerful artificial intelligence based software for financial advice and future investments. Software that will be many times more intelligent than the people on the board of directors at Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase. Then what will happen when all banks have software from the most important laboratories in the world, each piece of software being much more intelligent than all the people in the field of financial investment put together? The problem is not the professional future of these people, who will probably lose their jobs, as is already happening in the field of financial consulting. The main question is what will happen to people's investment decisions? Who will make them? The scenario could be as follows. All investment banks or securities brokerage institutions will be equipped with programs in which artificial intelligence will make investment decisions. Using existing data, these intelligent machines will no longer make the usual investment blunders, nor will they need inspiration or secret recipes for success or published in the special literature based on the biographies of the richest people in history. There will be a balance provided by the use of near perfect information. All programs using their superintelligence will identify the same risks and the same relative opportunities for gain, leveling, this is the main word, leveling long-term returns that will be shared equally. It is hard to believe that this will be the difference in the evaluation of securities and shocking moves, as the legends of the past century about beginning are presenting. As the next steps, we have to admit that the future of artificial intelligence is no longer ahead of us. we are already in it. As with the controversial globalization of the 90s, it does not matter what value judgments people have about artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, transformative artificial intelligence, or the singularity. What matters is accepting a future that has begun to move at a much too rapid pace, in which adapting to the new will be the key to the success. The most important next step is regulation, because we all have seen what have happened during the 2017 2007-2009 financial crisis due to deregulation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hi, how are you? How are you? Good morning. Good early morning here from Bahrain for everybody, and thank you for having me today as a guest speaker for you. And I would like to thank all of you for this successful conference. And I wish that, inshallah, the conference by the end it will have a good recommendation which will support the society and achieve the goals of the conference, inshallah ta'ala. Thank you. Okay, thank you everybody again, and thank you for this introduction. Actually, today I'm gonna spotlight on one of the topics, which is, to be honest with you, we as authors, reviewers, researchers, we face it a lot in our, let's say, in our academia life, in our research life, and I will I will like shine the light on things which is all of us as just a second. I don't know if you can the admin people, if they can share the presentation. Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, pardon, Professor?
Yeah, can you share the presentation, which is I sent it yesterday to you?
Okay, please, the team, share the presentation of Professor. Yes.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Amazing. Okay, so today, as I told you, I would like to shed the light on a one important topic, and something which is we face it as authors, as I said, editors and publishers, academic people. Now, you know that, and also as be the theme of your conference and focusing on the, let's say, the sustainability things and also the different things. Now, the majority of people, when it's come to sustainability, they are focusing on, let's say, the equality. But actually, within the current situation and the changing of the economy, we need to focus not only on the equality, we have to focus on something which is, we called it the equity. To achieve a true sustainability and to achieve a true development, we need to focus on that term. One of the things which is, I can tackle with it today, which is the thing which is related to something which is, we called it research slavery. Maybe it's look like a little bit يعني not sound, let's say, term, but actually that's what we are as researchers, as academic people. Usually we face it. What do you mean by slavery research? Which is when you are asking people to do research, that research, it's just to support, let's say, an activity, or to support, let's say, an index, some index, or to support, let's say, a growing, let's say, publication for a specific publisher, or for something else, which is not mainly for supporting the notion, or supporting the idea behind the research. We know that the idea behind research itself, it's to provide society with research that can support them and achieve, let's say, the development of the countries, and achieve, let's say, the development of the person himself, but through discussing and negotiation his opinion. But unfortunately, in the current system, which is, we call it, if you can go to the second slide, in the current system, we are facing the, let's say, the slavery. And the slavery system, it's come by, let's say, there is a kind of commercial interest. This commercial interest, which is let the people focusing on the interest which will come behind the research, not focusing on the research and how the research itself, it can support, let's say, as we said, the society, and to let the academics or the researchers to just tell their opinion and their point of view. And also, because of that, researchers, they found themselves, because of that system, they found themselves, they have to publish in a specific journals, because if you publish in XYZ journal, you will get promoted. If you publish in XYZ journal, you will get a remuneration. If you publish in XYZ journal, your impact factor will increase. So in this system, kind of system, many of the, let's say, important journals, or the let's say, just new published journals, it will be ignored, and the researchers, they will not target it. So because, as I told you, that at the end of the day, those people, they are doing research not for themselves or for the society, or to discuss their opinions. Now they do it to please their masters. Now the master, it's become like the journal itself, and also it will be the let's say, the academic institution, or the institution where they are working for. Also, as I said, that if we continue such, let's say, a pattern of publication, yes, we will have an impact factors. We will have, we will be recognized in, let's say, Stanford. We will be recognized in Google Scholar. We will be recognized in many platforms. But at the end of the day, if you ask all of those people who are doing research, especially I'm saying in the area of social sciences, the people who are publishing research, when you ask them, do you know how many of your research get, let's say, recognized from, let's say, some societal industries or societal institution, and they apply your recommendation, you will surprise that no one read your research. So that, because we are trying to tackle, and we have to follow doing research through, let's say, specific forms, and if you didn't do the form, your research, it will get rejected. Okay, many of things, as I told you, that the slavery system, it's not come just only from, let's say, you are publishing in a specific, let's say, matter, or to support a specific matter. Also, we have to go deep inside it. When you go to, if you can go to the next slide, if you are going, let's say, to the peer review system, part of publication, we know that a peer review system, there is a big question in the literature. The people, they are asking whether the peer review a system, it's broken or it's biased from the beginning. So there is some points we can focus on it when it's come to the reviewing system itself. Now, many of the reviewers, they become like some people of some terms, which is we call them like a gatekeeping. What do you mean by gatekeeping? That when the reviewer he receive a paper, and this paper it's not related to his, let's say, field, or it's related to his field, but he trying to do what? He trying to find if the author he has an argument which is not related to his argument. He will do like the bodyguard inside the institution or inside any place. He will not let this research to go to the next step. So immediately, maybe they will reject the let's say the paper itself, or maybe they will do what, they give him, let's say, major correction or something like that, and they have in their mind in the future this paper cannot be published, because that there is they are acting this role as a gatekeeping. The same thing also, there's another problem, which is the nepotism. If the reviewer he feel that this paper, let's say, citing some of his papers or citing of some of his publication, or he feel that maybe I know this guy, or maybe I do something like that. Yes, there's an integrity, there's many things, but at the end of the day, they will accept the paper with conditions, or they will send the paper to the next step. And also we have the opacity, which is that mean the criteria, sometimes the criteria for accepting, rejecting, for giving the let's say the reviews, and especially now with the chat GPT and the artificial intelligence. Now we are faced that many of the papers it's come reviewed through an artificial intelligence. Even that's the human, they are not interfere themselves. So because of that, and we are depending on the peer review. I'm not saying that the peer review they are, let's say, they don't have integrity or something like that, but the system will push them toward doing something like that. Depending on that, also, you know that the majority of and I'm face it personally, the majority of the journals, when you try to publish with them and you try to tackle them and send some papers to them, you will find that your paper it's disk rejected. So what do you mean by disk rejected? It will be rejected from the editor himself, or rejected through the screening process or something like that. And one of the reason, which is the journals, international journals, they put it for something like that. They are saying that the paper somehow it's fall out of scope of the journal. Yes, we appreciate that. And some of them, they are saying that the papers it's rejected because let's say it's tackling a topic which is, we consider it's not a hot topic. So now it's become, if it's not a hot topic, that's mean the journal cannot market it, and nobody will make subscriptions and give revenues for the journals. So depending on that, the journals, they are targeting niche areas for publication, and even the institution, they are targeting niche areas for publication. And if your paper it's fall out of this niche area, your paper maybe it will get rejected. I remember there's one case which has happened when it was like COVID-19. How many research which is published because of COVID-19? Do you know the people, they are, yes, there is a pandemic and there is something, and the people, they would like to publish about it and they want to give their opinion about it. But how many of these paper actually has, let's say, a true impact on the society and support us to fight the pandemic and support us to give solution to the society? But the journals, the majority of journals accept it because they know it's a trendy, and it will get more citation for the journal, so it will increase the impact factor of the journals. Again, there is another thing which is we can discuss it depending on this slavery system, that we need actually, if you can go to the next slide, that we need to achieve the equity. Okay, and we mean by equity that we have to give the equal opportunities, but in, say, a fair distribution. That's mean if I'm a publisher, if I'm, let's say, a publisher, and I will not accept let's say articles from those who just enter the field of academia. That's mean I'm not giving, I'm not achieving the equity. Also, at the same time, I'm not allowing all people around the world to read the articles. It's not an equity system. So because you know that when you prepare your research and you sign the form of copyright, that's mean the all right of your thoughts, your opinion, immediately it will be transferred to the, let's say, the publishing house. It will be transferred to the journal, and any success of your paper, it will not be your success, because at the end of the day, sorry to say that, the majority of people, and say it in the literature, you become like a slave inside the system of publication itself. And at the end of the day, you will be evaluated through not a true reading, you will be evaluated through the total amount of the followers. Because now in this system, the researchers, maybe you will surprise from what I will use the term. Now, majority of researchers, they become like, let's say, like a bloggers, or they are trying to be influencers. They are trying to have more people to follow them, and they are trying to do research, not to do research. They are trying to do research because they want to get promoted. They want to have more followers, let's say, in the platforms like LinkedIn, like Facebook, like different social platform, which is good. But at the end of the day, it's become, because of the system itself, that there is no equity in sharing the let's say, the finding of research. So this system, it's lead us to that area, or put us or corner us in that corner. But what we can do? So yes, we know that there is a problem. There is diagnosis. Okay, the diagnosis of the problem here, we can say that there is a research slavery, and also part of this research slavery, it's make the review system, it's make it, or blind review system, or peer review system, it's make it like a broken or biased somehow. You can go to the next slide. Okay, if we want to reform that, we said that we need more research freedom and meaningful outputs to focus more on the problems and try to solve the problems which is we face it. When it's come to publication, and depending as per your conference, also we need to focus on the matters, the actual matters, the true matters of achieving the sustainability. Especially, we know that sustainability, it's not something which has just come because of the initiative of the United Nations and the 17 goals or something like that. It's beyond. It's come from the first day when Allah Subhanahu wa Taala created the earth, and He sent Adam to the earth. The sustainability, it's a start, and it's there. So our role, it's not just to achieve the 17 goals of the United Nations. Our goals, it's to achieve, which is something which has come before, and something which will come after the 17 goals, or something like that. So, and we cannot achieve that unless we have initiatives, and we focus on those initiatives. And guess what? Nobody will publish your initiative. Somehow, some of the journals or publisher or whatever, they will say it's an initiative. I have to spend a lot of time for reviewing your initiative. Do you think it's worth to publish it? Yes, it's worth to be published, because if we want to sustain, and if we want to break the chains surrounding the researchers, and achieve the interest of society, we have to have, let's say, a kind of research freedom. Also, we have to reform the way of the journals they are publishing. I will be more than happy if the journals now, little, very little journals, they are publishing, let's say, video articles. Somehow some of the new publishing house, they are, let's say, publishing a video article, instead of publishing the article in the current format, publishing article, let's say, online, publishing article through, let's say, the paperwork, or the paper itself, or printing some pages and put it on the shelf. Why we don't have like videos for each article? And the article is supposed to be published through video. Now with the artificial intelligence, we can do that, we can use it. Trust me, the majority of people, they love to hear comparing with the people who love to read. So if you have such different platform for publishing, it will support us to break this, let's say, constraints, and it will get us more freedom. Also, why we don't have like an opinion papers? why we don't change the, let's say, the reviewing system. Instead, yes, there's some journals in our publishing house around the world. They have like something which is open review. Yes, nice, it's okay. But the open review somehow it's like stricted for specific people. Why we don't have like publication which is come like you are posting the article in your social media, and the people start discussing your article in let's say in a systematic way, in a specific way, and the article it's keep continued progress and progress and develop. And this type of publication, it can be recognized from the institutions themselves. So because when I ask them, the majority of the people, I asked them why you are publishing. He said, they said that we want to promote, we want to get promoted. Yes, you want to get promoted, but why you are publishing this type, why you are publishing in XYZ journals, why you are participating in XYZ, let's say, conferences. They are immediately saying that we want to participate there, we want to publish there because it's recognized in our institution, and if it's not indexed in specific, let's say, matrices or something like that, or platform, it will not be considered for my promotion. So which will not let the authors to do, let's say, the actual, or they are trying to tell us about their opinion and their belief. To do so, we need more partnering with the societies. We need to have more partners with the let's say more collaboration around the world with the community of researchers, and we need like even collaboration with the local governments, and we need collaboration with the even the people who are inside, let's say, even the United Nations, if we want to achieve a true research and equity research in the world itself. Okay, the next slide, if you can go, please, which is now, if we are going to the, I put the title for that, which is Research over Freedom. Okay, that's, I mean, we need, actually, I mentioned about that, we need to make the research focusing on the actual, let's say, impact for the society, and to focus on, let's say, the point of view, and give the floor to all of the authors to express their opinions about a specific, let's say, topic, and to try to not have just only a replication, let's say, studies or something like that. Especially in many societies, let me here within my presentation, just to give you an example, some of the papers, it will be get rejected because that let's say the author, he didn't return back, let's say, to the Q1 or Q2 journals in his references, which is mean that if the journal it's a Q1 and Q2, it's become like something untouchable. It's become something, let's say, you cannot change what's there. If you cite from there, it will give you Al Jannah, as we are saying. No, even if it's the articles, it's published in a Q1 journals, if it's published in Q2 journal, or whatever kind of, let's say, classification of the journal, it will not mean that the article which will you cited and the article which is do research comparing with your research or similar to your research, that it's that's mean, let's say, the article, it will give you a leverage, and all of your results, it's become correct because you are citing articles from such, let's say, journals or something like that. Because of that, some of the articles, it will get rejected because you are not cited something like that. Okay, and at the same thing, at the same time, that maybe your paper, your opinion, it has a value, and we will ignore this value because we have to follow that platform. This platform of publishing, it's suppose ask you to cite the top tier journals. If you are not cite them in your research, that's mean the people, they are saying that, oh, your paper, unfortunately, it will not accept it type. I want to cite the top tier journal, but I don't have access because the resources for the people, it's not allowed. So here there is no equity in the system itself, and we need to have more collaboration between, let's say, the different societal institution to do something like that and to achieve the research freedom. As I told you in the, if you go to the next slide, which is when we are talking about the matrices itself, that's what I'm telling you. I'm trying to telling you that now the people, they are focusing on, let's say, not on the quality or the let's say the true object of their research and where their research will fit in the society and solve a problem in society, they are focusing on, let's say, on the matters itself. So if I get more citation, that's mean I'll try to publish in such journal, because if I publish in such journal, I will get more citation. So I will be like myself. I will be like being in Stanford list of top 2% people. If I publish more people in such journals, more people they will cite me, and etc. And also for the journals themselves, they are saying that whether your idea it's marketable idea or not marketable idea. So we transfer the research from an opinion, we transfer it to goods supposed to be to have customer who will purchase it and the people who will take it. Okay, and for the next slide, we have to rethinking about the process itself, and there is many things to do. So I mentioned some of them, that we have to expand the form of the journal, and we have to accept a different, let's say, type of publishing. And also we have to try to waive the fees from the majority of journals, and it's can achieved by collaboration between the society and between let's say the publishers and different people. For the new, let's say, academics or the people who are entering the, let's say, the research industry, we have to have for them a mentoring, and we have to support them in a different way to break this, let's say, slavery system. Also we have to have let's say a diversified editorial boards for the journals. So why we don't have like journals which is be edited by people from industry, people from government, people from academic institution, from different people, so we can achieve something which is we call it that a collaboration between the three parties, which is يعني يعني affecting the education process, which is we called it the triple helix. And also we can have like a kind of incentives which is given to the reviewers, because many of reviewers, when I sit with them, when I discuss with them what I face, even in the journals which is I'm editing, that you are sent an invitation to the reviewers to do so, but the reviewers at the end of the day, they are saying that we are very loaded, and they will not do their best in criticizing the paper itself, because at the end of the day, the job it's free. So we have to think about how we can give incentives for the reviewers, and we achieve a good review. And here, incentives for reviewer, it's not like because you know that some of the publishing house, they follow the blind review. Yes, good, blind review, it's good, but again, so if I'm doing a review, it's part of the people, and we know that there's an integrity, there is an ethic. You are doing, imagine you are doing a work, nobody will see you, just you will hide yourself behind a screen, and you are doing a review, then nobody will appreciate your review, nobody will give you even any fee because of your review. And imagine, majority of us, maybe every day when you are opening your email, you will find maybe 10, 15, 16 invitation to review. So how much of those let's say reviews I can accept, I can spend time in actual reviewing. So for that, now some of the people, they are providing, let's say, review solution systems. In this review solution system, you just want to put the article there. It's not only just ChatGPT, but there is a reviewing solution system. You will put the article there, and imagine that the result of this review, it will come to you. Yes, I do understand, maybe you can use it to analyze the article, to give you a better understanding of what's there, but at the end of the day, you have to put your opinion. So because of that system, and because at the end of the day, the reviewers, they are saying that we are not recognized, so we have to, why we have to bother ourselves for doing such review? I'm not saying all the people, but still this issue, it's exists in, let's say, in the the current publishing system. The if we are going, I'm so sorry, maybe I take too much time. If we are going to the last slide, we need to continue the solution. As I said, we need to have like a kind of wide partnership. We cannot solve this issue within let's say 1, 2, 3 days. We need to have, as I said, we need to have like a wide collaboration between different parties who are involved in the publishing process. It's come from the author themselves. They have to know their rights, and they have to focus on publishing because of publishing, because they would like to prepare research, not because of other, let's say, incentives. And it's not like a kind of commercial. When you are publishing 100 article in the year, if you multiply each article by $500, that's mean you will be a rich man because of publishing. It's not like this. It's not about to get more citation. It's not about to get impact factor. It's not about to be an influencer or a blogger. At the same time, for the academic institution, they have to encourage their researchers to be free, and they can do research in opinion, and they do research and pursue their opinions without any fear. They will not get promoted. And also the industry, they have to actually try to make good collaboration or collaboration with the society and with the academic institution or research institutions to have a good partnerships, and which is will lead to a free research. And also the governments, they have to encourage the research in a different way through different initiatives. And also there is a big let's say role in this system, a new system for the media, let's say itself. So the media, they have to accept to let's say to promote this kind of a new, let's say, trend in research, and to try to have more freedom research than what we have in the let's say in the current digital era. And also at the end of the day, usually that there is a hope, and I hope that through your conference we will achieve one day that we have a free research and free researchers who are trying to support this society rather than just focusing on achieving or enhancing the matrices. Thank you very much.
Invited speakers, please raise your hand. Comedy, please. Okay, the boy at the back, maybe? Yeah, you can go to the front.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nazla Alia Putri. I'm 7th semester, a student from the accounting department. Professor Piroska, you mentioned that artificial intelligence is already transforming many aspects of society and may even lead to a future singularity. And from your POV, what skills should students develop today to stay relevant and responsible in this area, virtual intelligence? That's all, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a very important question, and every day I'm wondering this. I'm wondering about the answer for myself as a professor and for my students. My students currently asking me what should we do, especially because at the Bucharest University of Economic Studies. We are in the category of social and arts. We're not mathematics and engineering. From a technical point of view, the probability of losing the job or losing the professional perspective is bigger in social and arts than in mathematical and engineering. So we are very concerned about that. What should we do? For the moment, the literature and the experts recommend to have a combined recipe of theoretical and practical skills, critical thinking, and not least, we have to support ourselves in emotional intelligence, because no matter how performant will be the technical development of the singularity of artificial intelligence, I cannot imagine in the near future or on the long run that students or patients in hospitals or social workers or clients will avoid entirely the presence of the human being. This is something it cannot be calculated. What will be the amount of an outcome without the human presence? This is what I am rely on. We have to learn the theoretical background in our universities, of course, but everything that could be put in an algorithm, like mathematics, like I don't know, something related. You mentioned that your major field is accounting and it's financial and accounting. Before 2020, several publications put some warning messages due to automation and digitalization, not due to artificial intelligence. We didn't at that moment in the years 2000. All we knew about artificial intelligence were from the movies of James Cameron, Terminator or something. We have a general idea, but we could not imagine to see it like an operational process. It was something science fiction. But the risk of losing the advantage in legally and accounting due to digitalization and informatics was a previous challenge. Let us not say a risk, challenge. So the artificial intelligence, it's only deepening this process and spreading the challenge on the art, humanities, and everything. I'm a professor of history of economic thought, and my students probably are thinking, why should we listen to this guy? We have all the books, and they have to read a lot of pages. Believe me, we are studying the main reading books written in the classic economy and in the classic economics literature. And my students are asking, we can use ChatGPT to make a resume of Adam Smith, hundred of pages, David Ricardo, hundred of pages, and to present me a very good paperwork on that. But you know, Romania, like Indonesia and countries from Asia and Middle East, are countries with a very high context culture. We rely very much on friendship, on sentiments, on seeing people's eyes, or on personal impressions. I cannot imagine. I have friends. I have more friends from Asia and from Middle East than I have friends from Germany and Scandinavia, because it's easier for us in Romania to make connections on this level, and this is what I count for. That people like Indonesia or Middle East or Asia will support this approach to maintain the emotional intelligence along with the social and technical skills we are learning from the universities.
All right, thank you, Professor.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we can resume that we need critical thinking and also emotional intelligence in this area of artificial intelligence. Thank you for the answer, Professor. Okay, we come to the next session. The next question, anyone? Yeah, please. Why at the back? Please mention your name and also the question to whom which you want to answer the question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before that, thank you for this opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Arifan Distanto. I'm a 7th semester student from Accounting Department, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Negeri Padang. And I have question for Professor Arsartawi. And my question is, Professor Arsartawi, you highlighted that equity in research means giving fair opportunities and recognizing diverse contribution. From a student perspective, how can young researchers like us promote equity and fairness in research when we are still at the beginning of our academic journey? Thank you.
All right,
Okay, thank you for
the questions.
Okay. Yes.
On to you, Professor.
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Thank you for this question. One of the lovely questions which is we receive it from young researchers. Now you know that the new generation, which is the generation who are familiar, let's say, with the sustainability, and they let's say born and start doing research in the era of let's say the sustainability and the era of the digitalization, as Dr. Georgia mentioned that. You have like and you can keep your eyes open around the world itself, and you can learn now in the early stages. You can learn at your, let's say, institution, because you will be the next generation who will lead let's say this notion for having a free research. So to achieve equity for young researchers when they are having, let's say, a task to do their senior project, or to do, let's say, any research assignment inside their university, they have to start thinking about the open resources which is they can get from it, the, let's say, the literature, which is where they can build on it, and they can have to ask their institution to have more collaboration worldwide to let them get more access in the databases. So, and to do so, as I told you from the beginning, we need one person. He cannot change this this system which is developed many years back. So we can change it step by step through having, let's say, a successful collaboration or a good collaboration between the institutions and between the other institutions inside society. And also we can get and start to get, let's say, a collaboration among the different countries, because at the end of the day, all the countries, they are inside the United Nations. All the countries, they are trying to achieve the equity, and they are trying to achieve the sustainability. The core of sustainability, it's not equality, it's equity. So to do so, we need like to reform the whole system itself. All the parties who are interested in the research itself, they have to accept the idea that there is some areas in the world, some areas in the country itself, some areas even in your city itself, they don't have the same let's say the same resources. They are not sharing the same resources with you. So we need collaboration, due collaboration, true collaboration between different societies, different institutional societies. We can achieve that. Many of the countries now, they are trying to support the let's say the young generation or the new generation of researchers through, let's say, I know XYZ, let's say, professor. He is well known in that area of research. Why we are not trying to contact that guy and to have research with him, and the resources he will have it, he will share it with us. So achieving the equity, it's not something which will be achieved through remote control or by a click. It's need like a true collaboration between different let's say societies, and the people, they have to know that if we are not sustain our research system, which is a freedom research system, we will not survive in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. So to reach the equity for us, the young researcher, we can ask for our institution to collaborate more to the worldwide to get more access to the database, because sustainability is equity. That's the resume I can conclude from the answer of Professor Al-Sartawi. Is there any more questions from the audiences?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Reksayara Karisma. I am a student majoring management at Faculty of Economics and Business, Padang State University. And allow me to ask a question for Prof. Ernie. And the question is, Prof. Ernie, based on your research, innovation has a positive impact on the sustainable performance on SMEs, but financing choice does not significantly affect entrepreneurial resilience. Why do you think financing does not directly improve resilience among SMEs in West Sumatra? I think that's all the question I have, and thank you.
Thank you. The question is for Professor Ernie. Why do you think financing does not directly improve resilience among SMA in West Sumatra?
Okay, thank you for your question. Based on our result, innovation has significantly impact to sustainable performance, but entrepreneur financing choice (EFC) has insignificant effect to entrepreneurial resilience. Nevertheless, EFC has significant impact also to sustainable performance. Why EFC cannot influence entrepreneurial resilience? Because most of small medium enterprise in West Sumatra prefer to use internal capital from their own capital. There is no interest for the SMEs to choose external financing, for example, from informal loan, from relative family, from the supplier, and also from the formal loan from bank. That's why, because limited fund have by the SME, they cannot finance the business activity optimized, so they cannot increase the entrepreneurial resilience. Why entrepreneurial resilience not mediated FC and sustainable performance. But the most important thing, sustainable performance in West Sumatra, SME in West Sumatra, is could be explained by innovation. Innovation conducted by SME can make the product SME more interesting by the customer. So the increasing of demand of the product of SME maybe could increase also entrepreneurial resilience and sustainable performance. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ernie. So I can conclude that why the financing does not directly improve the resilience, because the SMA in West Sumatra prefer the internal capital rather than external capital. But innovation actually will lead to improving resilience and sustainability. All right, we have time for one more question. Okay. The boy at the back, please come to the front.
From accounting department. I want to ask for Professor Samsul. Prof, you mentioned that Asian University are integrating ESG and SDG principle into their strategies. From your observation, what is the biggest challenge for university in truly implementing sustainability, not just in policy, but in daily academic and campus practice? Thank you. That's for me.
Thank you very much for the questions. So this is the question for Professor Samsul. The question is what is the biggest challenge for universities in truly implementing sustainability, not just in policy, but in daily academic and campus practices? On to you, Professor Samsul.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. As I mentioned earlier during my presentation, the biggest challenge is the funding. Okay, the funding itself, because it requires money, to implement the initiative for SDG. That is the first one. The second one is it's not in the KPI. Okay, the KPIs for academics usually is on publication. Okay, so the KPIs on the SDG initiative are not actually in the KPI. Okay, for universities. So going forward, universities will need to include the KPI achievement, not only for the university but also cascaded down to the academics, so that the academics also will have their share in terms of performance for SDG and also ESG and also SDG. So that is the second one, funding. First one, second one was the KPI. The third one is the problem is the collaboration with the industry, with the society. Okay, sometimes universities are having hard time to get the industry to join the universities to to promote and advance the SDGs initiative, so that because in the model earlier that I mentioned earlier, the helix model and also quadruple model. So the models require the participation from the industry. So the industry must also play a big role, okay, in terms of supporting the universities in advancing the SDG as well as the ESG initiative. I think these are the three challenges which limit the performance of the SDG initiative among the universities in Asian countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Samsul. So funding and KPI, also the collaborative industry, is the key importance and challenges on achieving SDGs principles. All right, that's the session, the first session for question and answer from this room. We have an addition session. The question from online. Is there, committee, can we have questions from online, from Zoom or YouTube? Are there any questions? Can you please make it bigger? Bigger? Can you please make it bigger? Oh, really? So this is for Prof Ernie, right? within the resource-based view framework, how
Innovation and resilience
can be considered
strategic approaches for achieving sustainable competitiveness of micro, small, and enterprise. Okay. RBP said that external sources could become good contributor to sustainable performance. External resources study could assume that innovation innovation is conducted by the like innovation in organization, innovation in product, innovation in process, also marketing, maybe make the customer more interested to the product of the SMEs. So the increasing of demand to the product of SME for the long term, increasing demand means the business activity of SME also increase. So for the long time, innovation could make the company more resilient. So resilient also as internal resource of the company is unique. Maybe other competitor also has internal resources, but is unique and maybe only has by the own SME. So innovation and resilience maybe could be a predictor of sustainable performance for the SME, in this study. Our study only look at the impact of innovation and entrepreneurial resilience for the small medium enterprise, not for the micro enterprise. That's why the explanation why we could derive in the model innovation and resilience could be a predictor of sustainable performance, because innovation and resilience is internal resources, is unique internal resources that become a good input for the company to make the sustainable performance. Thank you.
Professor Oni, so innovation and resilience is the resources to achieve sustainability for the company. Next questions, do we have? It's for Professor Samsul.
Okay, let me answer the question. Okay, thank you very much for the question. Again, is back to the KPIs. Okay, KPIs for the academics. So in order for the bottom-up participation instead of top-down, instruction, it is about the KPIs. If the KPIs are assigned to lecturers, to academics, to achieve SDG goals or ESG performance, so they must be put in place and they must be able to be measured. Okay, in terms of, for example, maybe the KPIs is for the academics, for example, by asking students under their supervision to do projects with the community, for example, and then maybe the KPIs is based on the number of projects which are successfully completed, and maybe also they can go beyond that, how the projects can be implemented, okay, or applied in the community or society. Okay, that is one way of making sure the participation from the academics in the university. Otherwise, it will not be easy, for the universities to achieve the KPIs or the SDG performance if they are not put in the KPI officially. Thank you very much.
So we really need to focus on the KPI All right. Do we have any more questions? For Professor Abdul Muttalib Al-Sartawi. Question is, in the context of SDG, how can the concept of equity-driven research strengthen the role of academics from developing countries to become more empowered in international collaboration?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Again, as we said, when it's to come to the Sustainable Development Goals, you know that the goals of the 17 goals there, all of them, if you go, it's about collaboration and collaboration. They believe that you cannot achieve, let's say, the sustainability plans in any country, in any nation, without having collaboration. So and as I told you before in the presentation that the people they are mentioned that equality, but at the end of the day, equality يعني only equality it's cannot achieve unless we have equity. If we are different nation inside, let's say, the United Nation, and we have the majority of the countries, the developing countries, the most developed countries, all of those countries, they are believe on achieving, let's say, the SDGs. Just let's focus on the SDGs, not about the humanities or any other things. Any goal from goal number 1 to goal number 17, it's about collaboration. So collaboration in terms of what? In terms of achieving the goal, and even the last goal of the goals, it's about collaboration in achieving the whole goals. So because of that, that's we mean the countries who have, let's say, they don't have, let's say, the resources. Because of this collaboration, if we want to achieve the equity, we need a true collaboration. It's just not just a collaboration in the under, let's say, the inside what we say that international presentation for the different presidents of different countries or whatever. No, we need a true collaboration between the people to achieve that. The developed countries, they can, as they have, like, let's say, a good deals with the other countries when it's come to term of having any different thing, when it's come to term of importing and exporting, we can have a deals to achieve the equity in terms of, let's say, sharing the knowledge itself. We can easily try to ask for sharing the knowledge from the countries who have the knowledge. So I know that the countries who have the knowledge there, it's somehow it's sophisticated or complicated, that the countries they have the knowledge, they will not share the knowledge with you for free. I'm not here when we talk about the equity itself, we are not talking about equity when it's come to the resources itself. It's equity in the let's say, in the way of sharing the knowledge, so we can make sure that the knowledge it will reach to different people. So me as a developing country, and when I start to do research, or we want to do research, and we want to achieve the SDGs, now we can, at least inside our countries, the developing countries, at least we can ask our institution, academic institutions, ask, let's say, research institution to accept the local to accept the local research. See, many of the people, many of the researchers, they are trying, many of them, they are not very good in English, but they have to publish in English. Why they have to publish in English? You cannot promote it unless you publish your articles or research in English. But guess what? The majority of the people in the country, they don't know English. So if you put a good recommendation and you publish it in a Q1 journal, and this Q1 journal, let's say it's published in America, it's published in UK, it's published in those countries, and your society, which is you are tackling a problem in your society, you publish about it in another country. But imagine that your people, they didn't know about it, they didn't know about your research because they didn't understand the language itself, and they cannot access that research itself, which is published beyond them. So you can develop yourself by believe in the abilities and believe on the, let's say, the young generation inside your society. So you can encourage local publication, you can encourage the local publishing house to tackle, let's say, issues which is aligned with the society itself, and you can have a collaboration between different institutions. And believe me, the previous research, or the previous, let's say, the beginning of research in, let's say, in math, or the beginning research in accounting, it was not in English. Many of people, they are saying that in accounting, the majority of people, they know Luca Basilo, the one who come with the double entry. So Luca Basilo, he's not speak English. He's speaking that time, maybe he speak Italian language or whatever, but because what he bring, it's important, it's translate. So believe me, if you are inside the country, inside, let's say, the developing country, you are focusing to deal with the local issues and to try to solve issues on the society, and those issues will understand and will research, believe me, if the solution support your society, the other nation will come to you and they want to share knowledge with you. They will give you the knowledge. So the first thing, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to support your let's say nations, and you have to support your let's say surrounding countries or whatever, and you can start the collaboration. Sorry to say that, but in the same city or the same country, we have many different, let's say, in some countries we have many and different research institution, but imagine there is no collaboration between them, because they consider themselves as competitors, rather than they are have to have a collaboration, and they have to support each other, and they have to publish and do research which is support the society. Supporting society, it's not publishing something which is not يعني understood or get understand by the society, because it's published outside, and the same thing, it's published with a different language which is cannot be understand by the local society. Thank you.
Okay, so Professor Al-Sartawi emphasizes to do more collaboration, and he asks us to believe in ourselves so that we can collaborate together and publish the research not only in the language of others but also in the language of local. What I can conclude from the answers. All right, it's the final question. The last questions we have for Professor Grigore.
Yes, thank you very much for the question. This race to recklessness is the main is the source of our fears. It's the sum of all our fears, because without regulation, the problem is that the companies are afraid that if they will use some kind of restrictions and controlling the artificial intelligence, the other companies won't do that, and they will lose this space of technological advance. This is the name of the game in this problem with control of artificial intelligence. As I concluded, the need for regulations is not only a theoretical aspect, because we all know we all knew in 2007 that the banking sector is deregulated, but we kind like it to have access to easy money and to buy whatever we wanted to buy. Today is the same problem. We know that we need regulations in order to not letting the artificial intelligence to decide for us, but none of the most important producers of artificial intelligence, Google, Meta, or I don't know, has the initiative to ask to the other major competitive, the other 4, 3, 5 major competitive, to stay on the table and to decide what to do and to respect this protocol. Everyone is expecting that the competitors will use some kind of control, but not them by themselves. So the problem with this race of recklessness is the agreement between the main producers of artificial intelligence. We know what we have to do. We know that we need regulations. We know that we have to control the artificial intelligence. And I'm not an IT engineer. Actually, I'm very lame of this chapter. But I know from different sources and from experts that using coding and engineering in software is not very difficult to control the artificial intelligence. So we can do that, but controlling it, the artificial intelligence will not evolve in the pace that we want it to evolve. So we can control it, but we cannot agree together, all the producers of artificial intelligence, like in a cartel, how far we should go with these regulations, and without regulations, how far will we shall let artificial intelligence to improve by itself. The problem is our mutual agreement. This is the problem. We know what we have to do. We know that we need regulations, but we still lack the agreement.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Professor. So we need to have regulations and also agreement with the AI provider. That's concluding all of the questions from the participants. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We finished all answering the questions. Let me say thank you for all of the speakers for such a great presentations and also discussion. Please give big round of applause for all of our speakers, Professor Ernie, Professor Shamsul, Professor Abdal Mutaleb, and also Professor Grigore. We've reached the end of our session today. Thank you so much for your active participation. We hope this discussion has provided valuable insights and inspired new perspective on today's topic. Let's continue to drive these ideas forward in our work and collaboration. Once again, I'm Versalinisa, would like to say thank you. Please enjoy the rest of your day and take care. I'm giving back to the MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for Ms. Versalinisa, has assist us and help us for the plenary session. And thank you so much for the keynote speaker, already gave the good information and new knowledge and new point of view. And hopefully, to all the students here, can implementation into your daily activity and got new knowledge. The next agenda, the closing speech by the Vice Dean of Academic Affairs, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Negeri Padang, Associate Professor Dr. Marwan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First and foremost, let us once again offer our praise and gratitude to God Almighty, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, for His blessing that have allowed us to successfully conclude this conference. I would like to extend my deep gratitude to our esteemed Rector and Vice Rector Universitas Negeri Padang, then Dean of Faculty of Economic and Business Universitas Negeri Padang for their support, and special thanks to our distinguished speaker and special guests for their incredible insight. Thank you for Professor Abdul Muttalib, M.A. Musleh Arsatawi from Ahlia University, Bahrain, and Professor Grigor Ioan Piroska from Bucharest University of Economic Studies, Romania, and thanks for Professor S. Ernie Masdupi from Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Negeri Padang, and special thanks for our special guest, Professor Dr. Samsul Narhar Abdullah, Pro Vice Chancellor of Academic Operation, INTI International University. And of course, to all the presenter and participant, who I'm very proud of, thank you for your active engagement and valuable contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the conclusion of the 14th Padang International Conference on Education, Economics, and Business Accounting, PICEEBA. This event, hosted by Faculty of Economic and Business, has been a significant forum for scholarly exchange. We have spent our time together discussing sustainable synergies across education, business, and society. And I'm confident that ideas shared here will be helped in catalyzing SDGs impact. This conference has served as an invaluable opportunity to build new network and strengthen our collective commitment to sustainable future. I must once again extend my sincere appreciation to the entire organizing committee for their exceptional hard work and dedication in making this event a success. Please give applause for committee. And also, I would like to say thank you for our students that show the great performance Minang traditional dance. Yeah, please give applause. Yeah, for them. My gratitude also goes to all participants. Your passion has been driving force behind this conference. I hope you leave today inspired with new knowledge and new collaboration. Continue to learn and grow. Ladies and gentlemen, by saying Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, I hereby officially declare the 14th Padang International Conference on Education, Economic, Business, and Accounting closed. See you again at 15 PICEEBA in 2026, inshallah. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This is the end, the opening ceremony.
We are thankful to all the guests and participants for the attention of the ceremony.
According to the agenda, parallel session will be start at 1 p.m.
The information of parallel session already shared on WhatsApp group of the presenter and author.
See you in the next event of PICEEBA.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Dear Professor Grigore and also Professor Abdul Muttalib, we're already finishing our session and plenary. And after this, we're continuing the session for the parallel in-house in Universitas Negeri Padang. So thank you for joining the Zoom. Thank you very much. And after this, we're going to close the Zoom. Thank you very much, Professor Grigori, and also
Thank you.
Professor
Thank you very much.
Abdul
Thank you.
Muttalib. Thank you. See you.
Best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you
See.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you. Oke, everyone yang masih di plenary boleh